Rented Love, Part 1, The Velvet Noose of Expectations. New York pulsed with promises. The Manhattan skyline danced outside her window, but Ivy Carter didn't feel the magic. She sat on the floor of her sleek loft, warm tea in hand, watching the city lights flicker through the glass. Her apartment, modern, minimalist, soft lavender tones, looked like her, calm, curated, with rounded edges. And yet she felt like a stranger in it. Her mother called at 7:02 p.m., as she did every Thursday. "Darling," her voice floated through the speaker, clipped and deliberate. "We're expecting you at the family dinner this year, and hopefully not alone." Ivy bit her lip. A year ago she had shown up solo, and the whispers still echoed. 30 already? Still single? "I'll bring someone," she lied. Her voice didn't even crack. "Good," her mother replied smoothly. "Your father's invited several board members. There will be a string quartet after dinner. Punctuality is paramount." Click. The silence in Ivy's loft settled like fog. That night she scrolled through the web half-distractedly until a certain ad popped up. Rent a date. Cringeworthy. Fake smiles, men with jawlines so sharp they looked AI-generated. She almost clicked away until she saw one profile. Logan Reed, 28, actor, curious, thoughtful. "I don't do perfect, but I listen. Sometimes that's all people really need." The photo was real. Hoodie, bookshelf, a sleepy dog curled on a couch. Nothing flashy, and that's what caught her. She booked. An hour later, he responded. "Hey, Ivy, I'm free Friday night. Let's chat first. Dinner? Parents? What's the setting?" She replied, "Family dinner. High pressure. I need someone alive, not polished. Just honest." His answer came quick. "Then we're speaking the same language. Honesty's kind of my niche." They met at a Soho cafe called Clover and Ivy. She arrived 5 minutes early. Her coat was clean-cut, scarf light, boots tall, elegant but reserved. He walked in, tall, curly-haired, warm smile. His eyes were soft, not performative. He looked real. "Ivy?" he asked. "Yeah," I stood. "You're not exactly what I pictured when I thought rented boyfriend." Compliment or concern? "Depends. Do you care about being taken seriously?" He laughed. "You tell me." They sat, ordered coffee. "So," she started, "you'll be my date to a family dinner, Upper Westchester, annual nightmare. There will be wine from 1967, carefully curated classical music, and high-end judgment." Got it. Wealthy, icy, powerful parents. Bingo. My dad's an investor. Mom runs charities. They already think I'm too independent. So why not just bring a friend? Because friends know the truth, and they'd give me that look, the "we know you're faking it" look. I want a buffer, not an audience. He nodded slowly. So protection, not performance. That hit her hard. She stared at him. Exactly. Then I've got 2 questions. First, am I being myself, or do I need a name and fake resume? Be you. You're Logan Reed, actor. We met at a Tribeca indie film event. Sounds hip, but safe. Cool. Second question, are you okay if I improvise? I don't do well sticking to scripts. Define improvise. I might say what I actually think, even if it doesn't flatter your mom. She paused. Something about his presence grounded her. "All right, but don't break my mother. She's fragile. Looks like crystal. Shatters like it too." He chuckled. "I'm good with crystal." He lifted his coffee. "To new roles." She smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in weeks. Part 2. A family stage with unscripted lines. Ivy checked the zipper on her dress, burgundy silk, modest yet elegant, for the third time. Her heels were lined up by the door like they were prepping for a parade. She told herself everything was under control, except nothing felt like it. "You're nervous," Logan said, stepping out of the bathroom, towel slung over his shoulder. "It's not nerves, it's strategy." "Uh-huh. You shake when you strategize?" "Only when crystal goblets and childhood trauma are involved." He grinned and handed her a glass of water. They arrived at the Carter's estate in Westchester as dusk settled. Drivers waited beside black cars. The house glowed with curated warmth. Her mother stood at the entrance in a champagne-colored cardigan, all posture and politeness. "Ivy," she said, embracing her daughter with one arm while assessing Logan with the other. "This must be your friend." "Yes, this is Logan," Ivy said, squeezing his hand. "We met at a film festival." "Interesting." Her eyes flicked briefly to his not Rolex watch. "Come in." The living room was a performance space. Soft jazz, whispered brand names, veiled judgments. Her dad stood near the fireplace, tall, silver, commanding. "Ivy, and this must be Logan." "Yes, sir," Logan said, shaking hands. "Pleasure." "You're an actor? Anything we'd know?" "Small theater, mostly improv, not Hollywood." Her father didn't respond, only sipped his wine and shared a look with Ivy. The show had officially started. Dinner was immaculate. Silver gleamed, crystal rang, conversation circled politics, hedge funds, and chamber music. Logan sat beside Ivy, calm but attentive. "Logan," her mother said, turning to him mid-meal, "what drew you to acting? Not the most stable path." "True, but it's the most honest one I found. Acting lets you explore truths that real life often hides." Her father snorted softly. "Truth? Seems like make-believe to me." "Actually," Logan replied, eyes steady, "improv demands presence, no script. You can't fake that. You have to be in the moment, like in life." That silenced the room for a beat. And sometimes it's easier to say what you really feel when you're pretending to be someone else. Ivy stared at his plate, something deep inside her cracking open. After dessert, the guests moved to the music room, but Ivy pulled Logan into the kitchen. "What was that?" "You weren't supposed to challenge them." "You wanted real, didn't you?" "I wanted survival. You gave me honesty." He smiled softly. "Maybe you needed both." She searched his face. "Why are you like this?" "Because for the first time in a long time, I don't want to pretend." Something about that made her feel like exhaling after years of holding her breath. They stood there in the kitchen's quiet glow, and for a moment, the world hushed, like even the city knew something had shifted. Rented Love, Part 3, What Can't Be Played. The next day, Ivy sat in her cozy sweater wrapped in a blanket, sipping coffee while slowly flipping through photos from last night. One shot, her and Logan, hand in hand. He smiled. She realized for the first time she was starting to love. How did this happen? Every time she remembered how he looked into her father's eyes, unflinching and fully present, something inside softened. Her phone buzzed. It was Tom. "Hey." His voice was warm, like worn cashmere. "Hi," she said, a bit unsure. "It's been a while." "Are you free today? I saw your Instagram. Family dinner with someone new?" She paused. "It's a long story. I've got time and coffee and maybe a little hope." Tom was her college friend, someone who never pressured but always kept the door open. Somehow, when she disappeared into fears, he left the entrance ajar. They met at a small midtown cafe. Tom still had the same casual style, navy shirt, tousled hair, a smile that broke down walls. "So, your new boyfriend, actor?" Not exactly. Well, technically yes, but I rented him.
Wait, what?
She told him everything. No gloss, no polish. For the first time, she let herself be imperfect. Tom listened quietly. Finally, he said, "And what do you feel for him now?" She didn't answer at once. "I'm scared it's one-sided, that I started feeling something real, but for him, it's just another role." Tom nodded, then looked at her long and silently. "I've waited years for you to drop your armor, but sometimes it's better to burn in truth than live in shadows." "Tom, I'm not asking for a choice. Just want you to know, I love you, not because you're right, because you're you." Back home, Ivy found Logan reading a real book, paper, not a screen. He looked up when she entered. "You look like you fought a war today." "Maybe I did." "Tom?" "Yeah." "I can see how he looks at you." "And you're not mad?" "I can't be mad at someone searching for truth. But, I have something to tell you. I didn't want this gig at first. My subscription was ending, and I just clicked yes because your message felt real. Then I saw you in person. Things got complicated." "Why complicated?" "Because I don't want to be part of your lie, but I also don't want to leave. Also, I got a role in Chicago. Big break. And I don't know if I want to take it." "Why not?" "Because if I go, I lose you." She was silent. Her heart pounded like a drum. "I started as an actor, Ivy. But what if this time I don't want to play?" She stood by the mirror that evening, messy hair, no makeup, old sweater, staring long. Who am I when no one's watching? For the first time, she didn't know. She called both men to a cafe. Honest, no games. She said, "I'm not hosting a contest. This isn't a show. I grew up thinking love is earned, but now I want a relationship where I can be myself. Tom, you're my foundation, my stability, but I need more than comfort. Logan, you crashed into my life like a storm, and I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I'm not afraid." Tom nodded, pain and acceptance in his eyes. "Then let it not be a role," he said. "Let it be real." He kissed her on the forehead and left, no drama, with grace. A month later, Ivy and Logan walked the Brooklyn Bridge, hands entwined. Bikes passed, kids laughed. The evening was warm like a memory. "You know, we're still officially a couple to my parents," she smiled. "I don't know what we are to them, but I know what you are to me. You're not anyone's daughter, not a client, not a role. You're the truth I waited my whole life for." She leaned into him. "I was waiting for you too. Didn't know it." This was no longer rented love. It was love that stayed even after the credits rolled.